Okay, welcome to 2014 Paper 2, Question 3. Again, as always, I suggest you pause the video, have a go at the question, and then come back, even if it's just section by section. So part A, part 1 here, we have a circle question. I love circle questions personally. Okay, I think they're predictable, and the algebra is not overly difficult. But I can see straight away the circle C has equation x plus 2 squared plus y minus 3 squared equals 100. Now I know from experience, okay, that circle has a center not 0, 0. If you take the 2 here, the center is minus 2, okay, and the other this part of the center is plus 3. You change the sign of the numbers in the equation of the circle. Now this is radius square root of 100 of 100. Square root of 100 is 10. Okay, so I know a lot about the circle. Okay, and I know everything I should have written here. Okay, that's the two parts of the answer. I'm kind of dumb, but I even realized I was doing it. Okay, now the reason is, and I'll go through it here. This equation of the circle here, the formula is x. That's in the maths tables. X minus h, okay, squared equals, or sorry, plus, plus y minus k squared. For some reason, they use h and k in a circle equals r squared. Now, I know that marker thing doesn't really work very well, but minus h correlates here with the plus 2. So minus some number equals plus 2. The number has to be minus 2. Minus by minus 2 equals plus 2. Same thing here, minus k equals minus 3. Change the sign on both sides. K is equal to plus 3. Here, r squared equals 100. Bring the square across the equal. R equals the square root of 100, which is 10. Okay, now the other thing they might ask you in a part here is for the center has the equation of the circle has center 0, 0. H and k would both be 0, so the equation would be x squared plus y squared equals r squared. And this is a variant on the main equation of the circle formula. And we've got part 2 here, okay, very commonly asked, okay, basically, is the point P on the circle? Okay, now your 3 scenarios could happen here. It could be outside the circle, on the circle, inside the circle. Okay, so if you have your circle here, now the equation is be plus 2 minus 3. Okay, and basically your point out here, on the circle or inside the circle. If when you put your point into the equation, if the left hand side is greater than the right hand side, it's outside. If it's equal, it's on. If it's less than, it's inside. So let's see what happens here. So I'm putting my minus 8 and my 11 in instead of x and y. I end up putting that to the calculator, okay, the left hand side. I end up with 100 equals 100, therefore P is on the circle, because left hand side equals right hand side. Bog standard question they often ask. If you know what you're doing, you're happy days. If not, you're kind of going, what the hell do I do here? And I would suggest, look, what else are you going to do except take those two coordinates, x and y, stick them in. Okay, you don't necessarily know why you're doing it, okay, but it's what you need to do. Even if you got here and didn't declare what the answer was, you've still gotten the majority of the marks. Okay, so keep going. Part B, part 1 then says find the slope of the radius AP. Now you know what the A is. A should be the center, minus 2, 3. The P is the point minus 8, 11, I think it was. Minus 8, 11. So you find the slope between those two lines. Now your slope formula here, I'm going to go to the answer just because I have it done digitally. So slope formula, I've identified my two coordinates, labeled them x1, y1, x2, y2. The reason I'm going faster is this is my bread and butter. Okay. If not, get in contact with me and we'll spend some time on it. But really, it's a given formula. You're substituting in given data. It's just a matter of you're kind of, I suppose, hoping to get to this point. Now, from this point on, is when the math starts, okay? Really, before this was just substituting numbers in place of letters, okay? Now you're doing the math, so it's 11, you do top, then bottom, left to right. 11 take away 3 is 8. On the bottom here is minus 8 minus minus 2. Now that minus 2, okay, that's going to change that to a positive. So it's become minus 8 plus 2. Well, you can do it there. Make that a plus. minus 8 plus 2 is the same thing as minus 6. You can simplify that down the calculator or whatever, but looking for what number will divide in top and bottom? Well, 2 will. 2 in the 8 goes 4 times. 2 in the 6 goes 3 times. And it's minus overall. It doesn't matter if the minus in the bottom, top, or outside. It still means the same thing. We're now in part 2 here. Hence, okay, so using the information you've got in part 1, finding the equation of t, the tangent to c at point P. Okay. Now, it might be useful at this stage to go ahead and draw this. Okay. Now, it might be useful to have done this already. The center of the circle is minus 2 on the x, 2 on the x. So, okay, minus 2 on the x, which is over here, plus 3 on the y, so somewhere over here. Its radius 10. Now, I'm just guesstimating this. And you have the point minus 8, 11. So minus 8 on the x, 11 on the y. It's okay, it'll be off up here. Okay. So that's what it actually looks like, okay? And you have your find the equation of t, the tangent to P, the tangent to the circle at P. So that's the point P. Okay. Now a tangent will touch at one point only. Okay. Now, okay, my drawing is terrible, but you get the idea. So that's the equation of a line. A tangent is a line. So I get my equation of the line formula. I need to know a point and the slope in order to find the equation of that point. Now, I found the slope here for that, approximately that point there. That was minus 4 over 3. But the slope of the line is the perpendicular slope. Okay, so one simple way to get the perpendicular slope is to take your slope and turn it upside down and change the sign. So minus becomes plus, the 3 goes top and the 4 goes down. So positive 3/4 is the perpendicular slope. I have the point, it's the point P minus 8, 11, so I have that written here. Now just sub my information in, so the y value is 11, the x value is minus 8, and I have my fraction. Now, I can go up that. There's a few ways. I've, I suppose, jumped on a few steps here. What most people do here is, as a simplified way of solving this, is you can multiply the 4 to the left, the 3 to the right. And that actually takes a few algebraic steps. So I've done that here. 4 times y is 4y. 4 times minus 11 is minus 44. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times minus 8. 3 times minus by minus 8. So it's 3 times plus 8, which is plus 24. Now, the leaves usually want their equations of the line all on one side, x being positive. So I brought the minus 44 across and the 4y across. And they both change signs going across the equal. So the plus 4y becomes minus 4y. The minus 44 becomes plus 44. But I'm adding that to the plus 24. I have a wrong answer there. Okay, 44 plus 24. If you catch it, that should be plus 68. Okay, because that'll become plus 44. 44 and 24 by my maths, well, this time, is 68. Okay, so apologies for that. I'll go fix it now and on the main one, okay? Anyway, even experts like myself make mistakes. Don't laugh too hard. Now, that should be the end of question 3. I'll just see if there's another part. Sorry, there isn't, okay? The never-ending question. A second line K is a tangent to C at the point Q, and K is parallel to T. Find the coordinates of Q. Okay, I said here, drawn a sketch. Even if it's again, okay, or you going back to the original sketch. So a second line K is a tangent to C. So we worked out what C is, or sorry, T is, okay? So second line K is a tangent to C at the point Q. Now K and T, so the line you found was T, K and T are parallel. If I go back to the diagram, okay, what other line would be a tangent to the circle, but yet be parallel to T? Remember, that was the T you just found. Well, it can't be here, okay? It can't be going through twice because that's not a tangent. So it has to be, if you can imagine it here, like, okay, that's a straight line apparently in some other alternative universe. And that's the line K. K and T are parallel. It's a tangent to the circle, okay? And you're now being asked to find the coordinates of Q. Okay, so if you see that factor again, now this diagram is terribly off the scale, but if I move this point P as far as the center, it should move on the same distance again. And that's translation. Okay, so let's do it here. I'm translating my point P through the center on the same distance again. Okay, so -8 changes by positive 6 units in that jump from the x's. The 11 going onto the tree reduces by 8 units, -8. So if my point is jumping on the same again, -2 plus 6 is at +4, -3 minus 8 is at -5. Okay, and if you've drawn a test diagram, you can kind of guesstimate that result. Now, assuming you've even close or approximately to scale, you could do this question by translation. Okay, but like you're just reading the answer off. But at no point in the question are you asked to graph it, so you don't actually have an accurate graph with graph paper. So it would be a guesstimate. So by far your best way, or for full marks anyway, is to use the translation method we have here. Now, I hope that makes sense. We've done a lot there. We've done translation, equation of circle, equation of line, equation of slope. So they're covering a lot of things and testing a lot of coordinate geometry there. But if your coordinate geometry is good, it's a fair enough question. It did take us some time, since 11 minutes, so we'll stop there, and best of luck.